Okay, one of your questions asked what were the minor arcs on a circle? And the key is that minor arcs are less than 180 degrees. Major arcs are more than 180 degrees. So if you look at your circle, anything that's less than 180 degrees, you can count as a minor arc. Like right here from B to G is a straight line. That's, oops, I can't draw very good, but is 180. So we wouldn't count G CDB as an arc that's minor. Anything less than that, so we could say, GCD, that's an arc that's less than 180 right there. BDC could be, so you want to find the ones that equal, any of them that equal less than 180 are considered minor. So that's why they give you lots of choices on that question, because there's lots of right answers. Then the next one says measure an arc of TDC in this circle. So measure what TDC. So they're saying go this way around. Start here and go around. What is the measure of this arc? Well, we know that 90 of it's right here because this is a right angle. And notice that T to D was a straight line, 180 going across. So that means that P also has to be a right angle. And then, so if these two make up 180 degrees altogether, and then this one was 125, remember the whole thing has to equal 160. So if you want to find out what this stretch was from D to C, we know it's 180 from here to here. So to go from the rest of the way, we need to figure out what's the missing part. So add up everything and subtract it from 360 to find that missing part. And then on this next one, it says measure of an arc BD in the circle P. So BD, right here, arc BD, or I think it said DB, but either way, it's still just this arc right here. Okay, well, it doesn't tell us what that degree is, but if you notice that this is a straight line right here, you know, straight lines are 180, and you notice that what made that straight line was 50 degrees right, or excuse me, 90 degrees right here, then the other one has to be 90 degrees also. So BD or DB is 90. And then circumference in the form of pi. So circumference is 2 times the radius times pi, or you could say the diameter times pi. Either one means the same thing. And they did want it in the form of pi, which means they don't want you to change pi into 3.14. So what we would do is we'd say the diameter times pi. So I don't remember what, I must not have written everything down on this one. Let's pretend that the diameter was 30. Okay, the whole way, diameter's the whole way across. So we would write it as 30 times pi, and we wouldn't solve it, we would just leave it like that. So whatever that whole distance across is, you write it next to the pi symbol, and you're done. And this one down here, it says there's 2 rails, like train rails, like a train goes on the tracks kind of thing. Well, there's 2 rails that are going to go in a circle, so a camera can sit and go all the way around. So it's like the rails are going around like this instead of a straight line. Because concentric circles means that there's one circle inside of another. Okay? And so they want to know if you have this track on here, one wheel is going to be on the inside and another wheel is going to be on the outside as it moves around this track. And since the outside circle is bigger, it's going to have a bigger circumference than the smaller circle. And so that's what they're asking you to compare in this one. They want to know, how much further does the outside wheel have to travel than the inside wheel. And so you just need to know what's their circumference of each, and then subtract them. This one has a radius of 73 of the inside one, and the outside one, since it had to be 2 more, I think it said 2 rails. The radius of the inner is 73, and then the rails were 2 feet apart, so this one would have been 75. So you want to know 73 times pi and 75 times pi, and I would go ahead and round it off to whatever decimal place your answer was required. But then you would subtract their one from the other. So then you would, you know, because you'd find the circumference of this one and then the circumference of this one, and when you subtract them, it'll tell you their difference, and that'll tell you how much further this bigger one had to go.